Do you think monarchy is a better type of government, or which other form do you think is good for India or any other country? I think the best form of government is benevolent dictatorship, and that's what we always had in India. Who was Shri Ram, Lord Ram? Was he a democratically elected prime minister of India? No, he was a king, which is by definition an autocrat. By definition, a king or an emperor is a dictator who comes to power through nepotism and passes on power by nepotism. He is one of our civilizational all-time greats. He is an avatar of Vishnu. That's how great he was. Wasn't he a dictator? What about Sri Krishna, the king of Dwarka, at a certain point in time? Wasn't he a dictator? Of course, he also was the next avatar of Vishnu. Think about the golden ages of India, the Mauryan era. Who were the rulers of India at the time? They were all despots and dictators. Chandragupta Maurya came to power through a coup, a regime change operation, a revolution. He overthrew the established government, the Nanda dynasty, the Nanda Empire, and started the Mauryan Empire with the help of his mentor, Sri Vishnugupta Chanakya. He was a dictator. Ashoka Maurya, the most powerful of the Mauryan emperors, was a dictator, and he was a pretty, at times, pretty brutal, wasn't he? Ashok. But he was one of our greatest rulers of all time. And I thank the gods we had someone like Emperor Ashok. Who was Kanishka? A dictator, a military expansionist who conquered territories all the way from the Caspian Sea to the Aral Sea and Xinjiang and Tibet, Central Asia, and also the subcontinent. One of the greatest rulers of all time. One of our greatest rulers of all time, who did more for our culture than almost anybody else that we can think of. Kanishka. What about the Gupta emperors? What about Samudragupta? His whole career was a military operation. His entire career as emperor was one extended military campaign. He was a dictator. Were the Chola emperors not dictators? I think monarchy is the right way to go. Have you seen any prime minister of India who is even 10% of any of these great emperors of ours? Can you think of any prime minister, democratically elected leader of India, who has even 10% of the greatness of any of the emperors that I mentioned? So clearly, an imperial system is what has always worked for India. We have the oldest history in the world, and it's always been that system that worked for us. We are currently going through a very bad experiment. Of course, every system has flaws, potential flaws. Democracy is mediocrity, ruled by the mediocre. In an imperial system, if you have a bad emperor, you're gonna be in trouble. If you have a bad dictator, you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, but have we had bad emperors in the past? We can think of one cruel emperor, Ashok. But even though he was cruel, India at the time was at the height of its prosperity. He was cruel to people around him, those who opposed him. But for the country, for the subcontinent, for the civilization, he was one of the greatest of all time. Super beneficial. So, more pros than cons, way more pros than cons. So I think monarchy and an imperial system is better for India. Yeah. You may think I'm old-fashioned and I'm not liberal enough or whatever. Listen, I'm super liberal. I'm more liberal than most liberals, actually.